God damn it again.
Yeah, another interesting call. Another L for us. So, welcome back. Another week, another loss.
You can't spell Cleveland without L's. So,
Nice.
Just another heartbreaking loss that came down to the last minute.
Yeah, just another close one.
This game, they put themselves in a position to win. I think they got hosed on a couple calls. Amari Cooper did not push off. Yes, he extended, but it was a hand fight, and I don't think he made enough contact for it to be called.
It wasn't like a shove or enough to I don't know. I mean, it could have went either way. Obviously, went one way.
It was a bogus.
Yeah. But I mean, that false start to push Cade York back another 5 was absolutely ridiculous.
Absurd.
And I mean, hey, the annoying thing with that drive though is they shot themselves in the foot. They shouldn't have had to kick a field goal. They had enough time. They were just making some weird play calls, and I don't think they should have just ran the ball, done some dump passes and slants, and I keep saying, I mean, that's just, the boring stuff wins games, and I don't think we should have had that opportunity to even kick the field goal. I think we should have got a touchdown on that drive, or at least been closer. And, when we got the ball back with, was it 20 seconds or 12, at the end, it was just weird. I don't know. A lot of questionable things, but again, just couldn't pull it out. Another loss, 2-5.
I think another solid start for Jacoby.
Yeah, he looked solid.
I mean, he only missed a couple passes. He had threw for 256 yards, which is, I mean, it's turned into a pretty common thing for him. It just keeps pointing to it's not quarterback play right now. That we have bigger issues than the quarterback position.
And it's not. And here's the thing: the quarterback play isn't terrible, right? And the receivers are actually kind of exceeding my expectations, which were pretty low. But DPJ, Amari Cooper are looking good. There's not much depth there. And obviously with Njoku being out, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
But man, Nick Chubb just not running the ball enough, and that's not a Nick Chubb problem.
I mean, he's still 100 yards on almost 10 to 15 carries underneath the average for.
I mean, he should be getting
for a starting running back.
He should be getting at minimum 22.
Just look at the numbers. Derrick Henry, at least 30 carries a game. Any running back in either the Miami or San Francisco offense, they're at least running the ball at least 20 to 30 times.
Yeah.
At least splitting carries. All these run-heavy teams, their backs are touching the ball 30 times. Jonathan Taylor.
But it's we are supposed to be a run-first, run-heavy team. But we're not doing it with a backup QB in there. It's wildly confusing right now. Kareem Hunt is not present. He's there on the sideline.
It's he already got traded.
He had a touchdown, but he feels like he's already been traded.
We are filming on Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday before this game.
So
it could be tomorrow. It could be on Monday morning.
Yeah.
Because the deadline is on Monday. So the trade could happen anytime from now in between the game.
And we talked about this before we started filming. I would love to have a Kareem Hunt get extended. I'd love him to play out this rest of this year with us because he's such a vital, important part of this team that switches the dynamic that you don't see in other offenses. But the unfortunate truth is that he's not going to get extended. They drafted Jerome Ford to kind of replace him after this year. And
they're just not using him.
And they're not using him. And I think that's a sure sign of he's not going to be here come Monday. And that sucks. I hope we're wrong.
I mean, I definitely believe he's worth more than a 4th-round pick to this team.
Yeah.
I know league value, 4th-round pick for a 27-year-old running back is, I mean, that's a pretty fair price for what you're getting, but that he brings the dynamic to the offense that, like you said, that you don't really see around the league. But when you're not allowing him the touches,
He's just not there
to be that dynamic player.
And you don't even let Nick Chubb get the touches, let alone your backup. Or you've seen Dearness Johnson on special teams all year because they're just not utilizing their backs, and I don't understand why they're not doing it. But I don't know. It's
the play calling from the beginning of the year to now has changed drastically. I feel like the first couple of games, they had a great game plan. Just keeping it simple, just run the ball, and I mean it worked. You had two backs in the first game that went for 100 yards.
Yeah, and also you'd see Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt on the field at the same time. Like, do more of that. Make it shifty. We got to get kind of
the crazy thing is that we're having backs run for 100 yards, and we're nearly scoring on every other possession, but we're still finding ways to lose, and that's the aggravating part.
Yeah.
But that starts on the defensive side of the ball. But surprisingly, I don't think it was really the case this week. The only thing I would say about the Browns' defense this week, in a negative manner, is that they bailed out the Ravens a couple of times with stupid penalties. They did a really good job of shutting down Lamar from getting out of the pocket. Really shut down their big threats downfield. They didn't have much of a run game. They did a good job of keeping everything in front of them.
Yeah.
But, it almost seemed like every time they'd have an opportunity to stop them, they'd bail them out with a penalty.
Or like a third down that just seems impossible, but then you have Lamar Jackson, you just let him do Lamar. I mean, it's just kind of very frustrating.
I think definitely Joe Woods' best game plan so far this year.
I want to jump back over the offense real quick, but how annoying is a 3rd and 2, and you just... I mean, it's pretty much a design play, right? Where Jacoby was going one place and he was lofting it to Amari Cooper on the right side. I mean, it's a 3rd and 2. You got Nick Chubb that averages 5 yards a carry. It's a 3rd and 2. Don't get funny. Don't get tricky. Dude, it's a 3rd and 2. You score points. Why are you throwing the ball? It's just I understand it's got the point in place, but if it was a 2nd and 2, sure. And then, sure, do it, and then run the ball on 3rd and 2. But you're not. It's a 3rd and 2. Run the ball. Get that conversion, and then do those plays. You just need to convert first downs.
They're doing a lot of... They shoot themselves in the foot where they put themselves in a bad position to get behind the chains.
Constantly.
We've talked about this a lot last year, and I think we're starting to see it again this year, is on 1st and 2nd down, you get to see how crucial they are, is when you're not taking big chunks. Instead of it being 2nd and 4, or 2nd and 5, maybe even 2nd and 6, it's 2nd and 9, or 2nd and 10, or 2nd and 11. And that comes with passing the ball a lot on 1st down, or not having a really good... I mean, the run game's not always going to work, but you got to stick to your guns. You can't just give up on it. I mean, you have a great offensive line. You have great running backs. It almost seems like they don't trust them enough.
Yeah, that's true.
You want to ride these guys to the end, and you want to put yourself in a better position than what they're doing, especially on 3rd downs. So when you're 3rd down and 8, it's coming back to bite you.
Yeah, for sure.
You're, like I said, you're asking too much out of a backup quarterback. Honestly, he's played good enough. Maybe not good enough to win every week, but he's also not bad enough to lose us a game.
Yeah.
So, like, okay, one play is one play, but when you make all these other plays to put yourself in a position to win, you can't just be focusing on the quarterback play, because as we know from last year, it's almost day and night. Like, there was quarterback play last year that cost us games. Rather, this year, he's doing what a backup quarterback does. They stay in the middle. They don't.
But they're kind of like giving him too much.
They're
It's kind of like they're just kind of like, hey, I know you're doing this, but can you do this?
right. Right. Can you drive down the field with 2 minutes left?
Yeah, and the highest rushing. He's got the most rushing yards in the whole NFL right now. Like, yeah, like we're not gonna give him that many carries. So like, can you do this? Can you make that play? Can you do this a little bit more for us? It's like, just if you have those 10 more plays of Nick Chubb runs, and then 5 more carries on Kareem Hunt, and just let the pressure off of Jacoby just a little bit, and just do what you need to do, and just get those first downs. Like, it's not that crazy hard. Just give the playmakers the ball, and at this point, like, we don't have that many with Njoku out, and we're just kind of relying on. I mean, you got DPJ as a receiver too. I mean, it's kind of like, Amari Cooper's doing what he's here for. He's doing great. He's having an awesome year, in my opinion. It's just that you need to utilize your backs. And I'm really hoping they start doing it this week, because, I mean, this is we've said it's a must-win week every week.
I think it's the next couple of weeks.
Oh, man, this week is really, like, you got to...
They need at least 2 wins to just have a shot.
Yeah.
Like, two wins going to that comeback of Deshaun, hypothetically.
Yeah. And he needs to go perfect. So,
right. It's just more so to give yourself a shot. We don't know what we're going to get out of him. I mean, if we're going to assume that he's coming back as regular Deshaun. But, like...
I think it might take a couple games, 2 games.
Right, but, I mean, he definitely has a good comeback game where he can settle in, but that's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the Cincinnati Bengals.
The Bengals. Without Jamar Chase. Out for 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep. And possibly without a couple other guys. Trey Henderson hasn't practiced this week. That's a big one.
That is. Huge.
This is a Bengals defense that's kind of hit or miss.
When they hit, they hit.
They're great up front. They have a good linebacking core.
Got one of the best.
Their secondary
rated this year.
Their secondary is very interesting.
Awuzie is he's got I think passing against him. I think it's like quarterbacks have like a 50% completion rate right now, something like that. I mean, he's good. He's played really good. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the league so far this year.
They've been pretty solid, but I don't know. I've been saying this. I don't think it's the same Bengals team that we saw last year.
Like, a lot of people sleep on this. Like, a lot of people left after last year. They did. A lot of people left. A lot of people aren't there. And I agree. I think they've. I mean, they're still a really good team.
They're starting to come down to earth. We haven't seen much of T. Higgins this year.
Yeah, but Joe Burrow's Joe Burrow. Tyler Boyd's still very good.
He had a great game last week.
He's very underrated and underutilized just because, I mean, they got T. Higgins, Jamar Chase. But, I mean, that receiving core is very good. Without Jamar Chase, I mean, it doesn't hurt them as bad as you think because, I mean, he is very good, but you got those 2 guys that could really step up. So, that's going to be awesome. Joe Mixon, I'm not super high on Joe Mixon as most people are.
I think he's a baller.
Okay, but he gets the carries to affect. I mean, he averages 3.3 a carry. Okay?
Yeah.
That's not incredible.
They don't have a great offensive line, though.
That's fine. But, 3.3 a carry is fine. He's a good guy once you give him space. But, he is good. But, he's not a Nick Chubb. And I understand the whole offensive line thing, but like we should be able to stop him when it comes to like I don't know. Bad offensive line, bad defensive line. I don't know what to think about it. I mean, I guess it's really just kind of like, hey, can we have some solid stuff if he runs up the middle? Can our linebackers kind of stop him?
Yeah. So I think this will lead us right into our first Royal Donuts keys to the week. It's the one that we would not expect is stop the run. We need to stop Joe Mixon. We don't want to make this a dynamic offense where they're doing more than beating us with the pass because we all know that's probably going to happen. Joe Burrow does a good job of picking teams apart. They have a great receiving core, but you don't want to give them that extra dynamic to their offense in the run game. Where Joe Mixon, I think, you say he only averages 3.3 a game, but it's or carry. He has that it factor where he could take over at any time.
That's true.
He plays bully ball. He's a very physical runner.
But only if you let him. That's the thing. Is you can shut him down.
Yeah.
Easily shut down.
We shut him down before, but this is this week, not last year or
True. True.
We don't want to compare games.
And this is a Browns defense that is very unpredictable.
Right. That is a very good statement because they are very unpredictable. The only thing you could predict about this team is that they're going to be in zone coverage at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Nearly at least 25% of the game.
Yeah.
At least 25% of the game.
And so, I'm guessing you're going to see a Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins not blocked at all for some reason. And you're going to be like, what are you doing? I feel like you're going to see that quite a bit. And that's going to be interesting and fun to see. But, I agree. And I think...
I'm going to just roll it right into our second key to the game is get pressure on the Joe Burrow. That's where he struggles is when there's pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, any quarterback struggles when there's pressure. But this is a weak offensive line. The Browns did a great job last week of bringing the pressure, 5 sacks. They really had Lamar kind of scrambled. Not scrambling, but scrambled as a passer. He was kind of all over the place.
It really got his footing,
Yeah, they never let him get comfortable, which was kind of interesting.
And what's also been great is that they really just kind of weirdly shut down Mark Andrews, which is really hard, and that's been a huge issue.
Only 2 targets.
Yeah,
and targets.
That's incredible to say because that's.
I want to say something about a specific player has had a rough season, but Grant Delpit was given the job of marking up Mark Andrews. He was all over the place.
Good.
He made a big play in the end zone, where they had a tight end go up for the ball and he stripped it at the last second. That was a huge play. It's a whole different ball game if that guy holds on. But big play by Grant Delpit. I don't think we really saw anything get downfield, so I think they really cleaned that up last week. But
yeah,
back here to Cincinnati week is it just starts on the defensive side of the ball with bringing the pressure, stopping the run.
Mm-hmm. We have some injuries in the secondary. I mean, Denzel's out again. Greedy and Greg are both questionable. So that's...
But Grady's only questionable due to an illness.
Due to an illness.
So
is that illness on the trading block? Is that what this illness is?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens. I mean, I really hope both them play, and we don't have to rely on AJ Green all that much.
Right.
Although I like him a lot.
Yeah, I am a little curious why he hasn't played this year, but when you have depth like you do, if you want to call it depth, you have your draft picks. You want to play them more often than not. And then finally, I think the last key to the game is keep it simple on offense.
Keep it simple.
Don't get too pretty.
Do what you got to do to win the game.
Kevin has really gotten into this rut of trying to get very complicated on offense when they don't need to.
Yeah. You just can't either.
They really went away from their bread and butter, like the outside zones, the inside zones, the counters, or just straight running it down the gut. Play action. I'll tell you what, I haven't seen many play action this year.
Every time it works. It works. I mean, you've seen Njoku have some awesome catches with play action.
Or even just screens.
But you can't do play action when you aren't running the ball.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, it's just the scheme, or what was the scheme, the recipe for success has really gone in a different direction. That they're not doing what they're good at. Like the last couple of years, they've been really good at those run schemes, the screens,
and it's not like we're not good
and
at
play
that
action, and it just seems like Kevin wants to go away from that whenever they go down a touchdown.
Yeah,
and it's
not by much,
right? It seems like they play themselves out of the game by doing stuff like that. Now, I don't think Kevin should be up for.
He's getting a lot of criticism right now.
Not for getting fired, but he needs to consider giving up the play calling because it's been bad.
He does.
I do think schematically his offense is pretty good, but like I said, he's not even sticking to his own philosophy.
Yeah.
So it's kind of mind-boggling how what they're doing is like they kind of he gets almost scared. Like they need someone that's calm to call the plays, that they're not like, oh, we got to drop our game plan because we went down 10 points early.
Yeah, he gets really, I feel like frustrated and nervous, and then just is like, we got to throw the ball, And
going down 10-0 in the first quarter is not that big of a deal.
Yeah.
You just calm down and go.
Yeah, just like stick to your guns and just do what you know best. Like, just don't get frazzled, I mean, I don't know. But if I'm going to throw some cowtails out here, Myles Garrett.
The obvious one.
He's getting one. He can split that with Clowney if he wants, because I think they're going to be huge in this game.
Yeah.
I'm really hoping for quite a bit of sacks. I'm hoping for a couple forced fumbles when it comes to that pass rush. And, I'm going to throw this one out because I think he needs to step up, and not because he's not been playing good, because he has been playing well above what I thought he'd be playing, but just because we're going to have a lot of injuries in the secondary. But Martin Emerson is going to get one of these because this dude's been playing awesome. He's been super aggressive. I love watching him play. But also with a lot of these injuries and a lot of people are questionable, I'm really hoping he can really step up and show what he can do, and I think he will. So I think those are my two. You want to take this last one?
Oof. I got to say the Browns offensive line. You got to win the war in the trenches. I mean, they have a great defensive line. Why not take it to them? You're banged up. You don't have Wyatt Teller. You don't have... I mean, Ethan Poitras has been really solid this year.
He's playing pretty good. Yeah, he's stepping in that role, and he's been playing solid.
But it's going to be a game where they need to control the line of scrimmage and win on first down, win on second down. They just got to get themselves in a better position, and hopefully that Stefanski trusts them to do their job. Because when they're doing their job and they're really good at it, we can win a lot of football games putting the game in the hands of the offensive line.
True. We've
seen it so many times. Hell, the games that we've won have all been because the offensive line came to play. And it's not like they don't come. I think last week was probably their worst game. But still, every week before that, they've been lights out. okay, giving up a sack here. I mean, it's a difficult league. It's the NFL. You're gonna give up sacks here and there, but these guys literally control the pace of the game for the whole entire game. For an offense that's scoring 27, 25 points a week on average, you're ranking in the top 10 in a lot of offensive categories other than passing. It's hard to ask more.
Yeah.
So this week, you got to lean on your offensive line, the strongest part of your team. Lean on them. Lean on Nick Chubb. Hell, get Kareem Hunt the ball if he's still here, and we'll start with that.
Yeah. I think he'll be here maybe until the night or the morning after the game.
I think they got the 4:00 on Monday.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll see. I think he'll play this week, obviously. But so yeah, should be interesting. Results, predictions. I mean,
Result.
I do that every week. Predictions. Man, it is so hard to bet on the Browns this year. But you know what? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it just because that's how I am. I'm gonna bet
Stupid.
I know I'm so stupid for this. I'm gonna say
This is why you're pissed off every Sunday.
yeah, because I have too much faith in them. 27-24, Browns are gonna win it. I think they're just gonna rely on the run, and I think not having Jamar Chase is gonna kind of leave a too big of a hole for Boyd and T. Higgins to fill. So Browns are winning it. You know, I want to see that. Do I think I'm gonna see that? I don't know. So that's what I think. I don't know, Neville. What do you think?
27-17 Cincinnati. Joe Burrow gets his first win against the Browns.
That's crazy, right?
I got like deep down. I felt this last week too, that they're due for a bounce back game, and I feel like they had it last week. But this week it's about who wants it more, and it almost feels like a lot of guys aren't playing with a lot of heart. So unless they're not, it's hard to believe that they're going to come out with any more effort than they already have. I mean, if their defense gets better from last week, I think last week was definitely a step. I think they're taking baby steps. I think they've progressively gotten a little bit better
and that's
each
how
week.
it was last year, right? It clicked like mid-season, but they're awful before.
Yeah, they're like slowly, gradually getting a little bit better. They're still pretty bad, but they're still like they're climbing. The teams are not destroying us. Like, okay, other than New England, it's not. We're losing 40-0. It's like what we're losing on really weird stuff. Like, we held the best passer in the league to 140 something yards, but then Austin Eckler goes for 100 yards rushing.
Yeah,
It's always like it's the thing you don't game plan around. That's what ends up beating you.
Yeah.
In the end. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's one of those. Joe Burrow throws for 170, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions for whatever reason he throws to.
Yeah.
But Joe Mixon has 100 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns.
For sure.
It's just they're a really unpredictable team. You never know what's gonna look like with this team. So going forward, hopefully we can come away with a treat rather than a trick on Halloween.
That's a good one.
The Browns are going to be wearing their classic brown on orange pants. Their primetime uniforms. Gotta love it. So I hope all you gabagools out there
Boney Sprado.
enjoy your Halloween. Don't get too crazy with your horror marathons and your mass murderers.
Dude, I might not even be able to watch the game. I'm going to be in New York.
Oh, you're going to be in New York?
Yes, I'm going to be watching it on my phone. I downloaded YouTube TV on my phone just so I can watch it. So I'll find a way. I'll watch it. Maybe in a bar. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Well, thanks for watching. Appreciate it. Hopefully the Browns win. Go Browns.
Browns. Oh, yeah. Go Cavs. Go Cavs.
Lighten it up.
Donovan Mitchell, baby. Lighting up the city of Boston last night. But still, go Browns.